perfectly synchronized.
Bustin'.
Just how I like it. Welcome.
I'm coming. Sorry,
You're coming.
Myself.
Welcome back to another episode of Man Cave Movie Night. This week, we're going to be talking about nostalgia. Everyone be all up in their nostalgia. You know, there's so many properties nowadays that rely entirely on nostalgia. But because Niall, Jared, and I were all born in the 90s, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little bit of a 90s nostalgia test, because that's when we grew up and that's what we know best.
This is what we play for, right?
This is what we play for. So, you know, for me in my life, when I think of 90s kids, I think of the three of us. Because, you know, three random
those first 6 months of my life were amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just
dude.
those
I
moments.
The 90s for all their worth.
Good stuff.
Exactly. So, we're going to go over some of the highlights of the 90s that I'm sure we all remember. We're going to take this online quiz from thepioneerwoman.com.
Oh, good.
And I just barely realized the website it's from.
This is becoming a theme for us, taking quizzes off of obscure sites.
Yep, and we're going to see how well we do. I'm sure we're going to do great. So, first up, What was the name of Corey's best friend on Boy Meets World? Sean or Eric?
Sean.
Sean. Oh, wow. I'm shocked you guys know that.
I thought it was going to be on Corey in the house, and I was going to say
I was
the
thinking
White
Corey
House.
in the house, too. But yeah, Sean and Corey. And Topanga.
Topanga. All right. The Spice Girls was an iconic pop group made up of how many singers?
5.
4 or 5 are the options.
5.
5
we got
was...
this. You don't need to give us options.
Okay, wow, yeah.
We got posh. We got sweet and sour. We
got ice.
We got
ice. Spice. Is that her?
And baby. Sporty.
Interesting.
Sedan.
Yeah, I haven't read through these questions yet,
Sedan.
but we're just going to take them as they come. In 1992, the largest mall in the USA opened in which state? Minnesota or Pennsylvania?
Minnesota. Wait, no.
Pennsylvania.
It's either, well, I was going to say it's either Minnesota or Pennsylvania. I think it might be Pennsylvania.
It is Minnesota, for sure. That's where the Mall of America is.
There's another big mall in Pennsylvania that I went to on a trip one time. Also, I just looked at my audio and I fully clipped my mic when I yelled like that, so I'm sorry, listener.
Which beloved 1997 romance was directed by James Cameron? Titanic, that's it, baby.
Movies question.
Ooh, yeah, that's fun.
right
What kind of
up our
podcast
alley.
is this?
And here's a television question.
Topanga.
What is the name
Corey
of
the
Will's wealthy uncle in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Bill or Phil?
Phil.
Phil.
They couldn't do Bill. Bill Cosby was happening at that point. They had to do something else. Phil.
Phil is correct. And then it has a picture of Will Smith with his uncle, and it's subtitled The Fresh Prince of Bel-Aid, not Air. There's a typo.
Come on,
Right.
Pioneer Woman.
Pioneer Woman, get your act together.
Who played Tom Hanks' love interest in Forrest Gump? Robin Wright or Meg Ryan?
Robin
Robin
Wright.
Wright.
Yep.
All I know is that it's not
not
Meg
Meg
Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Because those were other movies.
True.
This song was Jennifer Lopez's #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. If You Had My Love or Waiting for Tonight?
I don't know. Waiting for Tonight is my guess.
I'll take the other one.
Okay, well,
You
we
Have
can
My
only
Love.
choose one. And
Well, yeah.
Well,
We're just going to find out which one of us is
Yeah.
better.
Okay, turns out it was If You Had My Love. So
Is that
Did
the
I
one
say
I
that
said?
that's the one Jared said, I think.
we both forgot.
This
Yeah, that's an L for the pod.
That
Yeah.
is.
On that question.
We don't know
lost.
enough Jennifer Lopez trivia. This handheld digital pet was one of the most
Palm
popular
Pilot.
toy
Tamagotchi.
fads. Yep, there you go. We don't have to finish. The other option was Webkins, but that would come later.
And also
Man,
not
how many
handheld.
questions are there?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Oh, okay, no, there's not.
300.
Yeah, there's 300. No, we only have a couple left.
I'm feeling nostalgic already, though.
I
feeling
know, me
very
too.
nostalgic.
I'm so
As soon as
nostalgic
You
for the
bring
90s.
Tamagotchi into any conversation, and nostalgia
Yeah.
comes flooding in.
True.
What was the name of Ross's pet monkey in Friends? Maurice or
Ross.
Marcel? Maurice?
Yeah.
You
That's
knew.
a thing you know.
You didn't
I
know.
know
It's
that.
Marcel. Marcel. Who?
Dude, Maurice came to my mind. Who's Maurice?
I don't know. Maurice
Uh,
from.
Madagascar.
Madagascar.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
true.
That's exactly what
Maurice.
I was thinking.
That's
I was thinking David Schwimmer. I was thinking Madagascar.
Maurice is also a character in Beauty and the Beast, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, he's the dad.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Who?
He's
Who?
monkey-like a little
Monkey.
True.
Maurice, the
monkey-like.
dad. Is
Some
that
would
true?
argue that all humans are monkey-like.
Some would. Not us,
Not
though.
me, a Christian man.
I argue that we are from Wales, the country.
All
man.
humanity is from Wales.
Wales.
That's a-
We all talk like this.
We all want race.
What?
Who was not a member of the Mickey Mouse Club? Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Gosling was.
He was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Reynolds isn't even a 90s boy.
This is a very interesting question. Which controversial
Probably.
soft drink was released in 1992 and rejected by the public? Oh, Crystal Pepsi or Clear Pepsi?
Clear Pepsi.
It's-
Crystal Pepsi was earlier.
I
Thought it was Crystal.
Yeah, it's Crystal Pepsi. I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Crystal.
It just had a picture of Pepsi, so I thought it was just Pepsi, the general product.
Was it
was
Crystal?
rejected.
Pepsi just-
Pepsi.
yeah, it was Pepsi that was clear.
That
Looked like
was
Sprite.
clear, yeah.
Yeah, but it tasted like Pepsi.
It's grape
Dude,
soda.
that is wild.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
nuts.
terrible idea.
People hated it. I got
Which-
cinnamon Pepsi in 2017. It was terrible.
Yeah,
made
it
me
sounds.
sick.
I mean, Pepsi,
Yeah.
normal Pepsi is bad. So I don't know.
No,
why-
you're wrong.
No,
Normal Pepsi's
that's
good.
Not true.
I have
Good
no care.
Beppis.
Bad opinion.
I have no care for Pepsi.
Bipsu.
Bipsu. What do the initials in JNCO Gene stand for? Judge none, choose one, or Journey now, carry on?
Journey now, carry on.
Yeah,
I'm
with
certain
Nile.
of
Let's
this.
do it.
Either way,
400%.
no, it was Judge none, choose one.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, Journey now, carry on. Either one of those are a terrible acronym.
Yeah.
That must have been early '90s. So
Yeah,
not what we know.
not what we know. Exactly.
Yeah. We
So
know the
this is
real
this is
90s.
the last question, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
TLC's hit song "No Scrubs" topped the Billboard Hot 100 in what year? 95 or 99?
Oh, in what year?
I know. I was like, this question.
That's got to be a
tough.
99 song. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that
Let's
can't
see.
Yeah, we'll go
That
with that,
was 1995. No, 1999. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Sick. You hit us with a little bit of a La La Land.
I
Moonlight.
hit him with a. So it was Judge None, choose one. I don't know if that was the one you said or not.
No, we said
We said the other one. We very confidently
Oh
piled
yeah,
onto the other
yeah,
one.
that's what I thought.
Journey now, come
Carry
together or something. Yeah. Oh yeah.
venture
Yeah.
forth.
Cool. Well, now I'm feeling nice and nostalgic for a decade
I'm
I
feeling
barely
really
lived
nostalgic and also
Man,
yeah.
in.
I'm
And,
feeling sad about my dead Tamagotchi.
the one I forgot about.
Rest in
Yeah,
peace.
bro.
He's been
Nah,
been
bro.
dead for a
Mine
while
is
now.
still alive but existing in an endless limbo,
That's kind of nice.
which
you did that
is
to him though.
arguably worse fate than
Yeah,
death.
it might be worse.
Could be argued better fate than living though. Anyway, let's talk about nostalgia.
This is going to be a tough episode, everyone. So strap in.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about nostalgia this week.
Oh, cool.
That's a great
We're
back in.
we're Man Cave Movie Night. We're Lucas,
Jared.
and Niall.
and we are going to talk about things that we actually do care about instead of the general idea of the '90s, which we barely care about at all.
Yeah, Lucas has somewhere to be
Whoa.
in 15 minutes, so he's going really quick with this.
So I'm just like, let's get through these questions. Let's stop talking as soon as possible. I got to catch a train to London as soon as we're done. So I'm in
I
Wales
didn't know
currently.
they'd finished that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the 90s situation, I'm proud that I can say that I'm part of the 90s group and not the 2000s.
Same. I
There's a
hold
little
that
bit
with
of pride with that. When someone tells me their birthday is like 2003, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
What?
it shouldn't
Yeah,
be
but
allowed.
they're 20. They're born in 2003, but they're
Yeah.
20 years
Here's
old.
the thing: you're not allowed to be born in a year that I remember. 2003 is weird, but if you say like 2007, I'm like, that's not a year.
Why are you
where
hanging out with
anyone has been
16-year-olds?
born. not hanging out with, but you've interacted with 16-year-olds before, yes?
Not recently.
Not since I turned 18.
Yeah, not since I turned 18.
Yeah, same. I'm just talking about like hypothetically, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, totally get that.
Yeah.
So let's move on.
Okay, thanks.
I can do my question first, or Jared can do his, or Niall can do his.
Hey, you're the host.
I want to do. Okay, I have a little. This isn't a question, but
You
it's
had
something
a
I
little-
want
you
to
had a
talk
little-
about.
little something
Which
you wanna
is,
A little
I
discussion.
feel like a lot of the time, this happens. I've been on both sides of this. Someone likes a movie that is unforgivably bad, but they're like, well, I watched it when I was a little kid, and there's a lot of nostalgia there for me. And I have been on one side of that where someone said that to me, and I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can say that that's a good movie. But I've also been on the defending the nostalgia side of it. And so I want to know what you guys think. Can nostalgia be a valid reason to like a genuinely bad movie? And say that it's good. Not just like it,
Yeah.
but say
Oh,
this
but
is a
think
good
I was
movie.
gonna
That's
say
where
to
it's
like
hard
it,
is-
yes. To say it's good, I don't know.
Like, just be. I mean, if you're self-aware and you're like,
Yeah.
it's the Master of Disguise. It has a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I really
Isn't that
loved
weird that was a movie that like all of us watched as kids for some reason?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, speaking of nostalgia, no, that was a terrible segue.
Segway King.
What were you trying to?
The turtle scene was filmed during 9/11. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. I saw that on IMDb trivia. It's so cursed. It was like
Speaking of nostalgia,
Segway
guys.
King using his powers for good.
they took a moment of silence and then resumed filming Master of Disguise.
Turtle scene. Oh my.
Anyway, back to the question. I think if you're like, man, I really love that movie because I watched it with my family and all that, that's totally fine. But if you're then to say it's a great movie and it should be on everyone's shelf, let's just be a little self-aware, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's totally valid to like something that is not good, but you have
Yeah.
fun memories about. There's plenty of things like that for me. I don't usually say it's great, but there are a few that maybe are not the best that I say are great. Like maybe
Lord of the Rings.
No, Lord of the Rings is
First
great.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first
that one's
one,
pretty
that one
rough.
is rough. You're right. Sorry. No, like Haunted Mansion, the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie. I actually really like that, and I think it's pretty good. And it's not actually pretty good, but I think it is because I have
Sure.
good memories of growing up with it
True.
and watching it with my family. And
feel that.
there's plenty of stuff like that for everyone. And we kind of live in a society right now where studios are like, hey, you know what people love is being nostalgic for the past. So we're not
Ain't
even going
that
to
the
care
truth?
at all about the product we pump out. We're just going to put, oh, hey, Beast is in the post-credit scene. Remember him from the early 2000s X-Men movies? That makes this movie good, even though it wasn't. And so that crap bugs the crap out of me. However,
Nice.
I think there is plenty of valid discourse to be had about nostalgia because nostalgia is a great thing. And yeah, certainly there's too many things that we maybe let go because we can blame it on nostalgia and there's things we like, but whatever. It's fun to reminisce about the past and the things that we love and just have these little core memories in our heart and mind and soul to just be like, oh man, but I love this. And this little thing will trigger a memory that's just so valuable to me. And I think that side of it is great. What I hate is when corporations try to take advantage of that and say, hey, cool guys, remember Star Wars? Dude, that's so sick. Yoda, little baby Yoda guy. It's so, like, remember from the 80s when Yoda was in Star Wars? Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
buy our
I
merch.
remember that. I remember the 80s.
So that's the society we live in, where there's too much
We live in,
nostalgia from
society.
corporations. But I think there's people can have as much nostalgia as they want as individuals. I just hate it when corporations take advantage of us and make us live in a society.
Yep.
True.
I
bro.
agree. I agree with everything you guys
100%.
said, except for that I also don't think that any of it's right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so fair. So with that, I'm just going to ask my question because I think it's a good one
Sure.
to start off with, which is,
Right.
what is something that you are nostalgic for that is like not very relatable? You'll say like, oh man, I love this thing. And people are like, what the what is that?
What the
Or
heck?
what the heck?
What
They
the-
just don't care about it as much. Maybe there's, the occasional moment where it's like, oh my gosh, you watched or you played or whatever, and it's like a rare occasion. But for the most part, it's like, this is just something that I love, and I accept that other people don't love it, but I still love to love it.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got one, and it's maybe not the best example. That's why I want to get it out of the way. But
Sick.
this came up pretty recently with friends of the podcast, Ian and Britton.
Shout out.
We were going through things to watch on the television, and they were like, oh, this show, I've seen it on TikTok. Like, I've seen clips of it. And I was like, you mean you haven't just, like, seen the show? I was like, that was such a big part of my childhood is whenever it came on, I'd watch the full episode. And if there were multiple episodes in a row, I'd watch them all.
Yeah.
And that is, whose line is it anyway?
Oh,
big
nice.
I'm like,
yeah.
how? Like, I thought that was, everyone just knew the show and had watched it and had just enjoyed the antics of Colin Mockery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ryan Stiles and Wayne Brady.
I don't remember their
Good old
names, but
Wayne.
I do remember watching it. And fun fact, actually, there is an episode where one
That
of the
Lucas
characters.
is on.
Yeah, I'm in it. It's really awesome. No, one of the characters talks about HeroClix. His whole thing is about HeroClix, and it's awesome
Nice.
because he's like,
That's-
it's about superhero chess. It's kind of like superhero chess, and I'm like, oh, that's HeroClix. I play HeroClix. I love that game.
Yeah, something
So there's
that
some
Lucas
nostalgia.
is
That's
an
great.
avid nerd of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe people listening to this episode will think, oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, everyone's watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? But apparently not. Apparently people
Yeah, I
who
didn't
I
watch
would
it like
assume watched it a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it at all.
I didn't watch
So,
it a ton,
Yeah.
but I did watch it like a decent amount when I was a youth.
Yeah, it's like the predecessor of modern day dropout.tv.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, totally.
It's very fun. Anyway, that's mine.
Cool. Love it.
Oh, that's such a good answer. You don't even know how good of an answer that is.
Why? 'Cause you don't
I
have an
have
answer?
one. No, I do. I can't remember what it's called, so I need to look it up. But there is a game on the Nintendo 64 that my older siblings always played, and I played a lot of it. I'm sure that I was terrible at it, but it's like a key part of my memory. Let me see. Nintendo 64 Olympics game.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
There was... Oh, here it is!
Olympics 64.
It's called Nagano Winter Olympics 98.
Nice. Yeah, I
And
never even
Hey,
once
take
heard
us
of that.
back.
It has a
98.
bunch of different, like, it has alpine downhill skiing. It has the ski jump. It has ice skating. It has all of these different things. And it just... That game... There's a lot of 64 games, but most of them are things that I've been able to connect with people over. But I've never met anyone outside of my family that has played Nagano Winter Olympics 98. And it's just... I don't know. There's something so special about it. Go look up videos of it. It's probably not very entertaining to watch even.
Sure.
Now that I'm thinking thinking back on it, that was one of those games where, like, other games, I would watch my brothers playing, like, Super Mario 64 or something, and that felt like, yeah, something you would see, and that's fine, whatever. But when Nagano Winter Olympics was in, it felt like kind of a special occasion, like a special event was going on, and it's like, oh man, we're playing the Olympics game, and I don't know, it just, there's something magical about that game, and I have never been able to connect with anybody over it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very niche game, but that's exactly what I was, talking about with the question. That's why I wanted to ask, because there's
Yeah.
got to be stuff like that. For me, I kind of spoiled it with Jared's thing, but HeroClix is that
HeroClix.
to the max. There was an era when I was in 9th grade. I remember just so vividly driving home with my mom and my brother, and we live right next to Smith's, and it's kind of like a part of a little, not mall exactly, but there's like offshoots to the left and the right of the grocery store. And we drove past, and there was this little sign that said 9 Realms Games and Comics. And we were like, what the heck is that? Like, is there a comic shop like opening right next to our house? So my brother and I walked down the street, and we went in, and sure enough, that's exactly what it was. It was a comic book shop moments away from our home, a literal dream come true. And boy, let me tell you, those months were some of the best months of my life. I had so much fun going down there every single day with either my brothers or my friends who lived nearby as well, either playing HeroClix or like Magic the Gathering or whatever, just hanging out. And it was amazing. Unfortunately, it went out of business after 9 months, so it was very short-lived.
Because you didn't buy enough.
I did buy enough,
It's
okay?
because you didn't buy enough.
It went out of business because the guy who owned it was a terrible businessman. He was really nice, and it was a lot of fun, but he did not know how to run a business. And
You didn't know how to pay
more,
how to tip
I know,
correctly.
I know, you're right. But it was so fun, and that all revolved around playing HeroClix with my friends and my brothers. And then we went over to Hajomaji in Kaysville and continued that until, unfortunately, that also went out of business. And so now I have no way of playing HeroClix, really, but I still love it. I still hold those memories very near and dear to my heart, and it was just such a wonderful time of my life that I still wish Nine Realms... Like, I do wonder if Nine Realms had never closed, which was the name of that comic shop, like, how different my
How
life
long your
would have
neck
been.
beard would be.
Yeah, how long my neck beard would be.
You would have been
because
winning
it was just so fun.
world championships of HeroClix by now.
Yeah, so I actually got second in state for
Such a dweeb.
which was pretty cool. I easily could have won as well, and that is one of the greatest regrets of my life is that I kind of let him win.
You did a Lightning McQueen.
I did a Lightning McQueen, and that was silly. But, so it goes. That
Listen, man,
HeroClix,
the movie wasn't called The King.
That's true. It wasn't
Chick
called
Hicks.
Chick Hicks. Yeah.
It's called Lightning McQueen.
The name of the movie is Lightning McQueen.
Oh yeah.
So
I
that's
love that movie.
That's HeroClix for me, or that's nostalgia for me that I don't
That's
share with a
great.
lot of people.
I have one more thing that I just thought of.
Let's hear it.
It's maybe a better answer.
Oh well,
Which
your
is-
answer was great. It was awesome.
Thanks, but I have one that maybe I feel more nostalgia towards more often,
Cool.
which is any of the Godzilla movies from the late 50s and 60s.
Nice.
Because I grew up watching those with Max Wild, friend of the pod. Shout out Max.
Shout out.
And really, just like all of those movies are so fun, and I don't know. There's just something magical about them. And anytime I try to talk to people about them, they're like, "Oh, the one with Matthew Broderick," and I'm like, "You just don't understand me."
You don't get me.
You don't get
Have you ever
it.
watched the Mystery Science Theaters of those old Godzilla?
I think I've seen one of them.
They're
yeah.
fun.
The one
They're
where
very good.
where he does the flying kick
Yeah.
against what's the guy's name, Megalon or
Clompy.
something. Yeah,
I've only
it's,
seen the cinema sins for those.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's really
good,
cool
dude.
when they make fun of
CinemaSins,
50s and
Hey,
60s.
everybody that's listening right now, if you haven't already, go and subscribe to CinemaSins on YouTube. They're so funny.
So funny. So
but-
good.
Godzilla -1 just came out, and I went and saw it, and it had a lot of the magic from those old Godzilla movies
Nice.
while kicking a lot of the cheesiness from it and making it feel really real and really scary and like very heartbreaking.
That's sick. I really want to watch it.
I honestly, and this is no surprise to anyone who's ever listened to this podcast before, I cried at 2 points.
That is
in
wild.
Godzilla
That is
-1.
surprising to me. I always am
very well
surprised.
done.
I've heard it's
really,
great. I've heard
really
it's
good.
really awesome.
So
It.
if you want to hear more about what I have to say about it, subscribe to us on Patreon. Or
We'll
support
talk
us
about
on
it
Patreon
after.
as well.
Did you hear it has a budget of $15 million?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's nothing.
Wow. Yeah, that's
That's nothing, but it's also probably huge for a Toho movie.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sure. But just the fact that it looks so good for a budget of $15 million is
And it
crazy.
really looks great. Like, the only thing is, like, water animation for certain splashes and stuff where you're like, okay, that doesn't look great, but it's also, like, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
you can
The original
the
suspend
first
disbelief
thing that I
with
can
it.
get over
Yeah, exactly.
to enjoy a movie.
The so on the topic of nostalgia and like the corporate whoring out of our properties that we love, especially this year, Disney has really tried to do that because it's the Disney 100, right? And so they were like, we need to pack this year full of fresh Disney content for people to enjoy. And you know what? They have lost money on every single movie except for one. And we're not talking like a little bit of money. They are $1 billion in the red this year.
woof.
Because they have made flop after flop after flop for the 100th anniversary. And I think that is sick. good
hilarious.
for Disney to finally start flopping. Because I bet they were thinking, oh, yeah, we got Wish coming out this year. We got the live-action Little Mermaid. We got live-action Peter Pan. We got blah, blah, the Marvels, Ant-Man, and the Wasp Quantumania. Those are all going to be such heavy hitters. And you know what? All of them flopped. So, good. Finally, I hope they start to learn their lesson. I know they won't. But it's great that it happened on their 100th year anniversary where they're going to have to start, hopefully,
It's just a
take
little
a
bit
step
more.
back. Yeah,
Did you hear what
exactly.
Bob Iger said about Marvel movies?
Oh, that they like have a message and that's why they're bad now or something?
No, he said they're failing because there aren't enough executives on set.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It's like, dog, what is wrong with you?
Facts, bro.
That's what you're learning from this? Is that more studio oversight is going to help?
Dude, Bob Iger, who's the CEO of Disney, and David Zaslav, who's the CEO of Warner Brothers, are impossibly dumb. I don't know how they have their positions, but they do, and they are everything they sound like. What is wrong with you? Like, I don't know if you guys saw this. There's like been a huge push for physical media recently, more so than maybe in the recent years, just because there's been a lot of streaming services, Disney Plus in particular, who will come up with a thing like the Willow show or whatever. Maybe it's not great, but they put it on for a couple months, people don't watch it, and they take it off immediately. And then there's no way to watch that. It's just gone because it was a streaming original and now it's just gone. One example of that is because people are like, well, you know, if you buy it digitally, blah, 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 whatever. People who had PlayStation accounts who had purchased certain movies and TV shows made by Discovery were removed. The ones they had purchased to own, they're just gone now. And so people are like, well, if I don't even have a guarantee of keeping the ones that I buy digitally, what's even the point anymore? If I'm not guaranteed any sort of actual ability to watch the stuff, like if I'm subscribing to Disney Plus or a streaming service to watch a certain thing, then I should be able to watch it. But if they have the ability to take it down, then why even bother subscribing? So they're shooting themselves in the foot, and I love to see it. So
Dude, it honestly, this is not even me trying to be Segway King right now, but it does make me more nostalgic and even long for a time where like we had DVDs and CDs, and that was like the way that media was produced, because there's also, just outside of the restrictions that come with streaming, it's like there's something kind of magical about just the tactile nature of like taking out a CD and putting it into your car. That, like, the way I've always compared it, because I love CDs and I have some of them.
I have 4 CDs, whatever.
And it's, for me, the way that I describe it is the same as people that prefer reading a physical book over reading it on like an e-reader, where it's just like, yeah, it's the same product that you're taking in, but there's something special about having the thing. And it's like, okay, I put it in and now I get to listen to it like from that thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I certainly am I'm nostalgic for a time where there was less digital mediums.
Totally.
Media, I guess, is the plural of medium. Yeah. That we consume our content through. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I get you.
Totally.
Speaking of
Thanks,
CDs
guys.
and music,
Agreeing.
Jared.
Guys, I've got a question for you.
Oh!
Whoa!
What? Is there a soundtrack or score, or maybe even just a song, that immediately puts you in that nostalgic mood, right? Like, you listen to it, and maybe a little tear rolls down your cheek, thinking about a better time, thinking about being in the back of your mom's Suburban. She pops in the soundtrack to this thing, or a song or something, and you're just whisked away.
You're just like,
Do you ever think about that?
Song.
Do you ever
good.
do you ever think about that? Do you ever have something like that?
I do.
I have that.
I have that a lot. I'll let Niall answer.
Okay,
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of it for me is like, there's tons for me that are like pure nostalgia for like when I was a child, that are TV show intros.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
totally.
like Danny Phantom. I am immediately like 9 years old when I hear that song every single time.
Bro,
Same with the Johnny Test theme song. The SpongeBob theme song. There are just so many songs like that really make me nostalgic for childhood. However, the thing that I prepared is something that makes me nostalgic for my time in high school, which is, I find, the time that I get nostalgic for the most these days. And it is...
Yeah, take us back to high school, bro.
Yes.
It's weird because it's not like crazy far back or anything, but it's like it was just such a like consistent feeling through high school that I had that now is just kind of gone, you know? And something that makes me feel like I'm in high school again is the video game Skyrim and all of the music that comes with the Skyrim music. You
Nice.
play Far Horizons once.
Yeah, and you're like,
I feel like a free high schooler again.
Hey, Jeremy Soule was my #1 artist on Spotify.
Yeah.
Nice.
I get it, bro.
very
Yeah,
cool.
And
My #1 artist was Feetloose.
Along with that, the album Sonic Highways by the Foo Fighters, which is by no means my favorite Foo Fighters album, but that album came out around the same time that I was playing Skyrim for the first time, because I got into Skyrim pretty late after it came out. And those two things have just become synonymous with like one of the most relaxed and positive times of my high school experience. And so if I ever want to kind of feel a release from modern pressures, I'll listen to the Skyrim music, or I will listen to Sonic Highways by the Foo Fighters, and it really does kind of help me feel less like I have current problems.
I'll chug a Zoa when I feel like that. Yeah. And that really helps.
I like to
Chugging
live,
an energy drink.
live nice.
Yeah, it really helps me
Think
relax.
naughty.
So mine is just specifically music, movie soundtrack in particular, Forrest Gump. The soundtrack to Forrest Gump just really just takes me back, because I remember the first time watching Forrest Gump. It's a movie I love.
The score or the soundtrack? Sorry.
Yeah, the score. The soundtrack
The
is
score.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's a couple songs in there.
Son.
So like the main theme, the that just instantly puts me in a headspace of like, because I remember so distinctly watching it with my mom when we lived in our townhome in St. Cloud, Florida, when I was a little kid, and I remember kind of watching it there, and then I've watched it sporadically growing up, and it's just a movie that I love a lot, and that song kind of takes me back to that time. Another song similarly is not from a movie or anything, but Claire de Lune. My mom learned how to play that on the piano when I was living in the same townhome in Florida, and so whenever I hear that song, I just remember like going to sleep at night and my mom was learning how to play that song, and so that I have a very distinct
adorable.
connection with
Very
that song.
sweet.
Yeah. So.
Wow, Lucas, I didn't know you had a soft side.
Yeah, isn't that fun? Tee-hee-hee.
Those are good answers.
And that answer explains why you remind me of Forrest Gump so much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because
That
fast
and your obsession with
Because
shrimp.
fast and ping pong.
and shrimp obsession.
Yeah, shrimp obsession.
Housing shrimp all the time.
Yeah. Those are great answers. I've got a couple. Niall, the TV theme song, 100% I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically, like the Pokemon theme songs from the
yeah.
first one through like the Sinnoh region. All
Yep.
of those, man. You play one, I could sing every word.
Yep.
And it's not like I have heard it in the past little while.
Yeah.
It's just, it's in there, baby.
Part of who you are.
Takes me
Yeah.
right back to elementary school. You know?
Yep. You just gave me another idea. Really quick shout out to The Ultimate Showdown. That song that was just on the computer. Are you familiar?
Oh, yeah.
I
Where,
probably
yeah.
recognize if I
Yeah.
heard it, but
Yeah, it's
Old
everything
Godzilla
fighting
was
each
stomping
other.
around Tokyo City like a big playground. That's one of those songs
Oh,
that
yeah,
I still
yeah.
have entirely memorized.
Yeah.
Just because that makes me feel like a kid. Man, that's crazy. Okay,
That's
continue with
awesome.
your answer.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
So yeah, any of the Pokemon themes. Specifically, there's one movie that I found the soundtrack to really gets me, and I found it because I listened to a lot of instrumental music for Dungeons and Dragons prep and to put into my D&D games. So, like I said, my Spotify Wrapped, I'd looked it up. 82 of my 100 top songs on Spotify are instrumental video game or movie soundtrack stuff.
Yeah.
The other 12 are just the songs or 18, I guess, are just real person songs. So.
Yeah, just the new Gorillaz album, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Gorillaz and Dayglow. Anyway, but I found the Ice Age theme or music again. And if you haven't listened to the Ice Age theme in a while, at least I watched that a ton as a kid.
Yeah,
that first one.
Totally.
And it struck a chord in me that truly filled me with warm emotion and like nearly brought me to tears.
Nice.
Just like hearing just the one little sound bite, that one little like theme. Man, yeah, check that one out.
Yeah. Great answer.
Yeah.
As far as music, when I first moved to, like, the transition from moving to Georgia to Utah for me was around the same time my mom would listen to the album Room for Squares by John Mayer a lot.
Interesting.
And so a lot of those really early John Mayer songs take me back to just, like I was saying, in the back of my mom's Suburban or minivan, cruising around, me trying to convince her to take me to McDonald's and her saying, no.
No.
McDonald's at home.
So those are all my answers, but I also want to give a quick shout out to this playlist. Where's my camera? It's called, you can't read it, it's called Bittersweet Early 2000s Nostalgia.
Nice.
And it's on Spotify, and every single one of them, bangers.
Yeah,
They nailed it.
That's cool.
aptly named.
They got some Cannibal Corpse
First
on
one,
there.
Little Wonders, Rob Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
It's got
With Matchbox 20.
Matchbox. We got Rascal Flatts.
Oh, from Meet the
We've
Robinsons?
got Collide, Howie Day.
Man.
It's just songs that
These
you're like,
they're not the
Highway.
go-tos for nostalgia.
Yeah.
You hear the name and you're like, do I remember that one? And then you listen to it
Superman?
and you're like, this is
Oh.
most of who I am.
It's not
This
easy.
song.
Yeah.
Have you guys
That's
heard that
awesome.
song from Smallville?
Yeah.
Superman?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. And
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
yeah, that one. That's the one. And Somebody
Doors Down,
Save Me
bro.
from Smallville as well. Yeah. I'm more than a plane.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I know that.
In a
Yeah, whatever.
silly red sheets. Yeah, dude.
So
I love that.
Yeah, it's
song and
all
show.
the songs are great. And honestly, if I was to make a movie that was really doing this whole, trying to activate those nostalgia chords, I'd throw those into the soundtrack.
Cool.
Very cool.
Love it.
Very
That's
cool.
smart. That's wise.
Very.
Yeah, so that's the end of the episode.
Mel has a question.
Just kidding. Jared is desperately trying to get me to jump on the excellent segue he just set up, but I think I'm just going to sit in the
moment
the
a little bit.
awkward
Let
for
the
a little
nostalgia
while.
soak in.
Yeah, just kind of think about. Oh, there's another song actually that's in Ice Age, that's also in Matilda, and it's the "Send Me On My Way."
Yep.
Send me on my way.
Yep,
That's a nostalgia song.
Send me on my way. Send me on my way.
Oh, that song rocks. Anyway, Lucas touched on this a little bit, but recently there has been tons of just kind of nostalgia bait content that has been just kind of thrown around. Some of it done very well, like Spider-Man No Way Home, and some of it done really poorly, like almost everything else.
Every other Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Or DC. Yeah. They've been trying that crap recently.
But
The
then
Flash.
I don't know. I actually really liked when Steve from Blue's Clues came back and made his little video.
Oh, that was
talking
fun.
To us now
That
that,
was
we're
very
all
fun.
grown up. That's a
Man, that
nostalgia bait
hit
thing.
me, bro. That was
It
good.
hit me too. That made me feel all kinds of
Yeah, I was like, oh.
But iCarly got a revival series that I think got canceled halfway through the second season because nobody was watching it.
Not surprising.
Ned's Declassified has an adult survival guide podcast where they kind of just talk about the making of the show.
That is weird.
Just tons of stuff from the 90s and 2000s are being put into kind of nostalgia-based content now. So I want to know what you guys would make as a nostalgia bait piece of content, either a movie or a TV series or something that would be the best one that hasn't already been done.
Oh, so okay, I see. Yeah.
My mind goes to something along the lines of Ralph Breaks the Internet. Like the early 2000s is very much kind of the introduction into the digital age, I feel like.
Yep.
You know, Webkins, things like that.
Yeah. Club Penguin,
the Disney Channel, those early cartoons from Cartoon Network and stuff. And having, I mean, honestly, it would be just an IP dump. If I'm really trying to nostalgia bait, it'd be an IP dump. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think that's cheap and disgusting? Yeah. So maybe that's not the best idea,
but it could be effective.
But that's the moneymaker.
But that's what would actually be made, you know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I choose my avatar and it's Kim Possible, you know, or something like that. So that's an idea.
Yeah, Niall, I want to hear your answer before I go.
Okay, the only answer that I possibly have, because my approach has been taking a kids thing that has some kind of adult themes in it and adultifying it. That's kind of been my thought of approach. And so my idea, and I know they're already kind of doing this, hopefully this is what they do with it, but doing Avatar: The Last Airbender, but pushing it to all of, because there's tons of like references to kind of more dark and kind of creepy and more adult themes.
Oh, totally.
But they're always kind of throwing in like a kid joke or something. And I feel like maybe not even doing the same story, but kind of exploring that world in a more like dark and showing the actual like evils of that world more clearly. Maybe a series that like follows Jet and the Freedom Fighters or something, and just a lot of like the kind of terrible decisions that they had to make or something, where I feel like it's like, okay, here's the IP, there's the nostalgia, but also this is a new thing that is going to feel different but kind of be in that same world. That's the idea that I came up with. I'm not satisfied with it. I think that there's a better answer out there that I could come up with, but that's what I've been able to produce so far.
Yeah, I dig it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Here's my thing. If we're talking just things that I am nostalgic for and like kind of almost yearn for more of a higher...
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings. I wanted a Lord of the Rings revival. No.
Lego Movie 3.
No.
Okay.
I think, and this is a product that is actively being made right now, and I have very high hopes for it because
Roblox the movie.
Roblox the movie. No, Minecraft the movie, obviously. No, that is
so excited.
Deadpool 3 with kind of nostalgia baiting X-Men stuff, because I've talked about it before. I'm wearing an X-Men shirt today. I love the X-Men, and I similarly grew up watching the X-Men movies and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies before there was the MCU and everything, and those were the ones that I grew up watching. And I love Wolverine and I love the X-Men, and I have for the longest time. And so that movie, I hope, does exactly what it could do and what I would, want to create, which is just a great nostalgic X-Men jump around through the multiverse. Like, because there's even rumors of like canceled projects that they might reference or show off, like Channing Tatum's Gambit or things like that, where it's like, yeah, like these little ideas that maybe never got made but could have been cool, just things like that. And in the context, again, I hate the multiverse for the most part, but Spider-Man No Way Home I thought was really effective because it brought the three Spider-Man together, which was awesome. And so I hope that Deadpool 3 is able to accomplish a similar thing, but with X-Men instead of Spider-Man. We'll see. Who knows? But that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I would make because I just love those X-Men and love to see them. Hoping that July brings a good X-Men movie with Deadpool 3, but we shall see.
Oh, we shall see.
We shall see.
I think. Okay, I want to give you another pitch.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
That's because one of the most nostalgia-y shows that's come out in the last little while that's done it really well. That isn't just like a show about like a remake or a reboot or showing the properties of things. That's Stranger Things.
Totally.
Big time, yeah.
It's like a big 80s
Just
nostalgia.
nostalgic for the era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool to make something more like that, where maybe it's a movie about, and I'm a sucker for these, about a kid who wants to be a musician.
Nice.
Okay? All the music for this is, we're going to say, written by Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20.
There you go.
Nice.
You know, someone appropriate for it. And very Sing Street-esque. You know, he's just trying to make it, you know, trying to make music, whatever. But specifically, there's a new platform, end of 2005, that's coming out, that he's like, I want to take advantage of it. I want to post all my videos of my songs to this new website called YouTube. Early days of YouTube. And we get to see, like, the other content that's being created on there and stuff like that. And, you know, just kind of lean into these specific things that existed, I guess, for everyone, but not like a specific property. Just try to really vibe out. And he's like, maybe throw in some little things of like, the girl he likes or something has those little jelly wrist things.
Silly bands.
Silly
Yeah,
bands,
yeah, totally.
Or he's helping his mom out at the Scholastic Book Fair, you know, or something like that. After
Drawing the little
school.
3-line S's everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
So rad.
So,
That's a good answer.
That is
Yeah,
cool. That-
just like those little nods are in there, but it's an actual story about like a coming of age story.
Yeah, that's
just
a great
saying
answer. That inspired my actual answer.
Let's hear it.
Sometimes
Here's-
it takes us a little second to warm.
It
up.
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
us a
it's like-
second, but
for
then
your brains
the
to
idea is
get
the juices
are
start
flowing.
pumping through the brain tubes, and then you get
then you get
a
to speak.
golden egg like what I'm about to spit out
Let's
to
hear
you.
it.
Ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready for your
No.
golden egg.
Okay. We open
I'm ready.
on a relatively nice apartment. With the camera kind of pans through. You see a couple of guitars on the wall. One of them's a red Gibson SG. It pans through. It goes to the bed. There's a big old lump wrapped up in a blanket. And
feeling I've
a
seen this
knock
one
on the
before.
door. He pops his head up. We see an aged Dewey Finn from the first School of Rock movie, and he's got a letter at his door. He is being served by the members of No Vacancy for stealing a song because of like slightly similar melodies, and there's history with No Vacancy, and they're still kind of bitter towards him. So some other stuff happens, and they realize that they talk to No Vacancy, and they're like, what if we do like a one-on-one battle of the bands, and whoever wins, like if you win, I pay the fines that you guys are serving me with, and if we win, we just get rid of it, we forget about it. And then he goes and he gets the band back together.
Oh, dude.
He
that'd be
tracks
sick.
down all of his former students,
Sing
and
Zack
they,
Attack
yeah,
as a
they,
30-year-old man.
yeah, some of them are pursuing careers in music. Other people are just like, yeah,
Like,
I'm
no.
I'm a architect
School
now,
teacher.
but I still play the drums every now and then. And he's like, well, Freddie, freaking come with me because I got a show.
Fred
I got the
Jones.
show of a lifetime for you. And you get them all back together because I'll tell you what,
Let's
there's a
rock
YouTube
today.
video where they got a bunch of the people together
Yeah.
from School of Rock, and they played like a little show.
Oh, that's sick.
And it's about the most nostalgic I've maybe ever felt for anything in my life. So if you make a School of Rock 2 that's designed for nostalgia, do that. I also have a different idea for School of Rock 2, but it wouldn't serve the nostalgia thing, so I'll save that for another time. / I think I've already talked about it on an episode before, so
Yeah.
that's my answer.
Very good.
Good answer.
Great, even.
Thanks.
Well,
Thanks.
this was a kind of fun little trip down memory
I thought
lane.
it was great.
This was cool to kind of reminisce and nostalgize ourselves.
Yeah. What was your favorite part, Lucas, of the podcast
Man,
today?
I'm just gonna be
Thinking
so
back.
nostalgic about our James Bond.
I'm only
episode.
remembering one thing that you called great this episode,
Which one
and
was
it
that?
was my idea for School of Rock 2.
I'm pretty sure I've said great a few
I think
times.
so.
But
said
maybe,
great
but
a
maybe you
bunch.
liked a different thing too. I'm just saying I only remembered one.
Oh,
so
I see.
if
Because
you
you're a narcissist.
had to
and
pick
you only
one
remember
favorite
your own
thing.
things. Is that what it was?
Yes.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, another thing I'm nostalgic about is my friends, Niall and Jared.
Ugh.
And just, even though we still are in frequent contact, I just reminisce about our wonderful times we have together and how I want nothing more than for them to continue until I die
Yeah.
in the year 2038. So I don't have much time
coming
left,
up.
but
It's
I
coming
want
up.
to make the
August
most of them.
18th.
August 18th, 2038. Mark it down in your copybooks. Anyway, we're going to say thank you very much for listening. And we're going to say some quick shout out to Niall's mom, who is
Oh,
named Kel
that's
Thorley.
true. We are gonna do that,
And we love
I
to
gotta
shout
get
her
a-
out because she loves to be good and nice. Because she
She
is
loves to be shout outed.
shout outed. If you want to give a shout out to Kel, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/mancave It's a lot of fun.
Please shout her
we
out.
just continue doing more of what we do here, just a little more goofy, spazzy, little
Wub wub wub.
kind of
We
get a
pitch
little stuff like
movies.
that. We do
We
some
play a
framed.
game where we pitch
It's fun.
movies by the dice, where
By
we
the
roll
dice,
dice
yeah,
to
that's
see
fun.
what director and what actor and what occupation, and then we do that.
We've done some
and
anime
that's
voice
fun.
impersonation,
Yeah, we
which
do
has been
anime
fun.
impersonations. We do all sorts of fun and goofy stuff over there.
Sounds great.
We bazing.
Yeah. It sounds
I
like
would
a
subscribe.
mess, but it is a mess, but it's a fun mess.
It's
It's like a
fun
mess
mess.
that you and your friends made at a sleepover. It's not a mess that you came home to and someone else made. It's your mess that's made of memories and dreams. Anyway, shout out to Kel this week coming from Nick Bell, Michael Polonsic, Easy Law, Britton Inkley, Riley Allen, Ian James Martin, and Hannah Steed. My mother literally could not do it without you.
She would not be
Thank you so
alive
much
if it
for
weren't for
shouting
you.
her out. And that's what I have to say.
And we will say thank you for listening again. We love having your ears captive for a few minutes every week. And we will continue to do so until August 18th, 2038, at which time I will unfortunately
5-star on Spotify
pass
and
away.
iTunes.
And yeah, tell your friends, keep listening, 5 stars. We'll see you on another Man Cave Movie Night Monday. Buzzinga.
Topanga.
Bye.